Hello, and welcome to the Lost and Found Tarot channel. Today we're practicing our Celtic Cross Spread. I use it when I want a specific answer on a question. For this question, I'm going to pull it from my homemade practice deck. I write out questions I've received on little pieces of cardstock, and then when I want to practice, I pull out a question at random and read on that. Today the topic is love, and the question is, what can I do to find love? I like this kind of question because it means the cards are more likely to give information on what the querent can action on. The Celtic Cross is a 10-card spread with a distinct arrangement. You all know it probably if you're a reader. Some readers use significator cards as the anchor for card position 1, but I don't. We start with 2 cards in the center, add 4 cards around those 2 center cards, then build an arm over the right side. The order I lay my cards may not be the order you do it, and that's totally fine. Both of us are right as long as we do it consistently. If you don't use the Celtic Cross because it seems too restrictive, I'm going to show you how to make small modifications to the card positions to help you get the clearest answer. We can't make too many changes to the card positions because then it wouldn't be the Celtic Cross anymore, but we do have some flexibility. Before I do a spread, I write it all out so that I have every card position mapped. This is just what works best for me. I start by taking my blank Celtic Cross template and writing out the question I need answered. If it involves specific people, I'll add those names as well. Then I assign the card positions. Card position 1 will be the present situation, and the second card will be the crossing element. These 2 cards will be read as a team. Card 3 comes from the bottom of the deck and represents what is unknown to the querent or client, or what is being withheld for whatever reason. Card position 4 represents the recent past, and I specify 2 months. Card position 5 should describe the querent's expectation of the situation. This is a great spot for modification because its role is to verify the situation. When you talk to your client about what happens in cards 1, 2, 4, and 5, those should mean something to them because those cards should be telling us what happened and what the querent has thought about it. If none of those cards make sense, pick up the spread and redo it, or try another time. Sometimes tarot doesn't want to answer the question at hand, so if the cards are not coming out to verify the situation, that might be why. Card position 6 is the near future. Again, I work with a 2-month time frame. The more specific we can make our questions, the better an answer we can give our clients. That concludes the cross itself. Let's go over to the arm of the spread. I don't have enough table space here, so my arm overlaps a bit, but the essence is the same. Card position 7 will be the present attitude of the querent, which seems like it would be redundant because of card position 5, but this one is slightly different, and we can talk about that when we get to the breakdown. Card position 8 will describe external influences. In a lot of my books, it is referenced as the environment, which is not wrong, but by calling it external influences, we might be able to see if it points us in a direction. Card position 9 for the spread will be the innermost emotions of the querent. So if this person who is our client is asking, this should reflect their hopes, fears, or any feelings that are relevant to the situation. And finally, card position 10 is our outcome card, and I put a time on this of 6 months. So for the situation and crossing card, we have Page of Wands reversed and the Sun. We can already tell that the querent is feeling very discouraged with their current state. They've likely been single for a while, they're feeling lonely, and maybe fighting some hopelessness. Something happened with them recently that's giving them a burst of energy and hope. They have an awareness that love will not find them. They have to have an active role in seeking love. If they're on a quest for it, they know that there are things that they can do to make it happen. Card position 3 at the bottom is supposed to show us any missing information. It's a what don't I know card. I take this from the bottom of the deck, but you take it from wherever you want as long as you do it every time the same way. What the querent doesn't know or has not said is represented by the Hierophant reversed. This card here might suggest that the querent might not be heterosexual. As a reader, I personally get mostly cis women, cis man, hetero clients, and protagonists. So when tarot shows us something hidden, it's not always a note about the client, it might actually be a note to you, the reader. And if this is the case, and if we confirm with our querent, that is true, they're not strictly hetero or non-hetero, period, it helps us interpret the cards with that in mind. For the purposes of this completely made-up client, let's pretend that they are non-heterosexual. This would make the first two cards clear as day because they might just recently come out and are learning how to find love in a new environment. In our recent past for card position 4, we see that the Querent has discovered a new dimension of attraction and is beginning a journey to find that for themselves in the Ace of Pentacles. Up in card position 5, we have the Fool. We are getting lots of beginning/starting a journey energy from this spread so far, so this is no surprise at all to see this card here. Our Querent has shed an image, an old way of being, and is all ready to begin a process that they have no roadmap for. This is uncharted territory for them, so far they show no fear in this regard. This would be a nice reading to give if it were real, because the Querent is obviously in a receptive place. If the universe, the angels, the Querent's guides, whoever, if they have messages, the Querent is ready to receive it. As you know, or as you'll find out, over time when you give readings, some people say they want answers and advice, but they actually don't. The King of Swords in card position 6 may indicate some romantic contact in the next 2 months. This would be a card I'd want to ask more questions around. In the Tarot Court, kings manage and are represented by the realm of fire. And the King of Swords is air, so we have fire of air. When I don't have enough details to say what a card is predicting, I step back and try and look at what the energy of the card is. If the card is indicating a person, it's the action side of intellect. So as a person, it could be someone of significant intelligence who has some measure of power and enjoys being in control. Now, if our Querent happens to be someone who finds that quality compatible, say they do want someone to take control in a relationship, that might be the support to say that within 2 months they might have a romantic connection to a person who has these qualities. And a king as a person does not always mean a male or male presenting. It could be anyone who has the characteristics of the King of Swords. That is to say, cool, like almost to the point of cold, intellectually powerful, decisive, and inclined to believe their way is the right way and that things are going to be done their way. Going to the arm of the spread, the present attitude of the Querent is the Ace of Cups. Now we have 2 aces in the spread, and that's lovely to see. Aces are divinely gifted, yet fleeting energies. To get a full sense of what it means, we blend it with the Hierophant reversed and the Queen of Cups. A flowing cup of emotion is being confirmed by those cards. Hierophant underscoring why we have this burst of feeling after having shed old restrictive ways of being. And the Queen of Cups has the power to use what she feels and knows how to serve herself and those she cares for. The Three of Wands in card position 8 might mean that the Querent is already aware of a potential partner. Maybe they have a crush. If that's the case, the card says that they need to make that person aware. If my assumption is right, and that person happens to be a King of Swords, once the Querent makes their attraction clear, the other person will take it from there if they also share that attraction. Alternatively, this could show us business or work-related travel that has significance on the matter. On a more spiritual level, our Querent needs to go somewhere outside their usual path or routine. What they seek is not where they currently are. If we dig into the innermost emotion of the Querent in card position 9, where the Queen of Cups is, we see someone who is ready to go all in on love. They are romantics at heart, and they want to give everything to someone and get everything in return. This does not mean that they are pushovers. After all, the Queen of Cups is the queen. On an elemental level, she is water of water. Not only that, but in the court, it's the queen who does the most with her power. People often equate emotion to instability and weakness, but that could not be more wrong. We start our lives in water. We're beings made of water, and we need it to survive. The Queen of Cups has understanding of her nature. She knows that she can be loving and giving, but don't ever think that she's naive or doesn't have control over her emotions. This card position blends with card position 5 on the Querent's expectations. So again, we have an open heart ready to give and receive. In the outcome card, we see the 9 of Pentacles, and this is like a little plot twist. Somewhere in the longer term future, possibly between the 2 and 6 month mark as specified when we cast, there are some things our Querent will want to watch out for. If they become involved with someone, This card warns of a loss of stability, likely connected to lifestyle or finances. Again, since this is made up and because this is a predictive card position, there are some caveats. We don't know what's going to happen, and this card can represent very different situations. Some of those options that could potentially apply are: 1. The querent becomes materially reliant on their partner, and while they may have initially been okay with that in the beginning, they are now unhappy, and they don't really know how to express that. They'd like out or they'd like a change, but they're not sure what to do at that point. 2. Another meaning could be that they themselves acquire a partner who is reliant upon them. And if your querent has wealth and resources, maybe that is what the card is showing us. Another potential meaning is that we have a partner for the querent that causes a material loss for them. That could take any form. Maybe they don't contribute a fair share, or they're involved in a loss to the querent that would not have occurred had they not been involved. There are a lot of possibilities, and that is one of the reasons why tarot is not always the best tool for asking what will happen in the future. It can hint at things that might happen if we don't change our behavior, but that's about it. For this querent, I would advise that they do their thing, continue finding themselves and experiencing love in all its forms, but to bear in mind that not everyone will be as giving as them, and even people with wonderful intentions make mistakes. The querent should think about how much they're willing to give. How much of themselves are they willing to give another, whether it's control or even their own resources? A quality partner will meet you where that point is. Thank you so much for watching. If you have some thoughts you'd like to share from your own practice, or if you have any questions, please put them in the comment section and I'll do my best to respond. If you like this video, please consider subscribing so you'll get the heads up when I post a new one.